So it's about 2:35 p.m. Okay. Let me put that on this side so that doesn't fly away. All right. So I'm on January the 17th, so I've knit it from January the 1st to January the 16th. I am now on January the 17th, and we're looking at 36 Fahrenheit, which is sapphire. Okay. So 36 Fahrenheit. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and look for my sapphire. So let's find sapphire. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Here we go. There's sapphire. So I'm just going to add it on. Adding on my yarn. On the sapphire. I'm knitting all the way across and then back again. January the 17th. 36 Fahrenheit. Okay. Tying one knot and then I'll secure it at the end. Okay. Garter knit stitch. So it takes me 2 hours to do 7 rows times 2 because I'm knitting there and back. 14 rows for 2 hours. So 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. I calculated it takes about 100 and I believe it's 10 hours, 100. Yeah, over 100 hours to hand knit. And it's a garter knit stitch so I can knit faster. Trying to catch up for 2026 for my temperature blanket. Little behind, but I'll catch up. All the different sounds as I'm knitting. Lovely day out. It's 80 Fahrenheit today. It's April 15th. So I'm a little behind, but we'll catch up. Just take a little bit of my day to catch up. As you can see, it's just an easier flow with the garter stitch. You don't have to think too much for your stitches. This color is Sapphire. Now I'm knitting all the way across, and as you can see, the ends are at the end of the row that I stop at. This color I'm using is Sapphire, knitting to the end for January 17th, 36 Fahrenheit. And the garter stitch makes a nice flow to go quicker. It's always nice when the yarn doesn't change for a while, but that also means that that day was either too hot, too cold, maybe an in-between. But sometimes it's just nice to see the various colors flowing with one another, and you never know what color you're going to use until the day you are set to work on your temperature blanket. At the end of the row, I'm going to go ahead and secure the knot tighter. I usually do that at the end because sometimes the knot is still loosing. When you're trying to take it out, it's a little more difficult. Okay, so January the 17th we've completed. All right, so I'm on January the 18th. And we are looking at 28 Fahrenheit, which means 31 Fahrenheit and under is white. So we are going to knit in white yarn. January the 18th, 2026, 28 Fahrenheit, and we are knitting in white. So go ahead and cut this off. Alright, grab the white. Just gonna add on the white yarn to my knitting. January the 18th, adding on white yarn, 28 Fahrenheit, knitting 2 rows. Secure the knot just to keep it in place. And I'll continue knitting. And as I go, I just keep a steady pace. That you don't know what colors you're gonna get, but the good thing is it makes the temperature blanket in its own design. Like the temperature blanket starts feeling like it's designing itself, and it makes a great way to see the color variations for other things, like a poncho, a hat, like there's a scarf, like there's so many ways you can work in designs for other stuff after this. And it's such a gorgeous day to be knitting outside. And the time goes pretty quick. Like, as you knit, I'm like, wait a minute, it's already that time. Like, when you're knitting, it's just amazing how fast the time goes. Because it's fun and you're being creative and relaxing. Temperature blankets are so much fun. I'm glad I started it in 2024. Sometimes it's difficult to keep up and if you fall behind, but that's okay. You can still work on it. Nothing wrong with that. This isn't funny for others. I don't know. I just find this funny. So right now, you know, I'm using my GoPro battery handle to keep my paper down. I'm just laughing at myself because we're in 2026. So who needs a paperweight? And I'm like thinking in my head, I should knit a paperweight. But why would you need a paperweight, you may say, you may ask. Well, you may never need a paperweight. You may not need it today, but someday you may need that paperweight. And it'll be a knitted paperweight that you can keep a hold of. Who wants a knitted paperweight? I do. Just, it would be a rock with this knitted sock over top of it. So just grab a rock and put it. There you have your paperweight. So if you're knitting outside and you're knitting your temperature blanket and you need to mark off your temperatures as you go, you can use a rock with a knitted hat on it. The things I think of when I'm knitting, it clears my mind, and I think it's funny. So as you go, as you knit, it clears the mind, and you tend to become creative in that aspect also too. You start thinking of other creative processes, because with a garter knit stitch, you don't have to worry about whether you counted your rows correctly or you purled the wrong stitch when you should have knit it. And when you count your rows, it's 2, so you'd count your garter stitches if you lost your place. And, you know, you may be a fast knitter, but sometimes you can slow down, and there's nothing wrong with that. Keeping up the pace is pretty decent, though, with a garter knit stitch. Knitting all the way across for January the 19th, 28 Fahrenheit. And then we'll figure out what our new day brings us. Almost done January. We are in April 15th today. As you can see, the pace is really good when you're using your garter knit stitch and you're a bit behind in your project. The garter knit stitch can help you with your work at a faster pace. And then you can catch up a lot quicker. Keep telling myself, catch up, catch up. Hopefully I won't fall behind, because it's so easy to just pick up your knitting once you catch up on the date. And then you can knit your 2 rows, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes out of your time, pick it up, and try to stay on track. Life happens, but I will try once I catch up to do that. Near the end, I'm going to knit across again. January the 20th, 16 Fahrenheit. I'm going to continue knitting across. January, yeah. Getting there to completing January for 2026. As you can see, there has been colder days this year. A lot of white under 31 Fahrenheit. Let's see what our new day brings us. All right. January the 21st, we are at 37 Fahrenheit. So we're back at Sapphire. January the 21st, 2026, 37 Fahrenheit. Sapphire. Sapphire is 36 to 39. All right. Adding on Sapphire, knitting 2 rows. All the way across again. that split. Don't want that. Smooth it out and continue knitting. Okay, I'm gonna double knot, secure it. Okay. All right. January the 17th to January the 21st, I just knitted my rows. So that's 5 rows times 2 is 10 rows from 2:30 to 4 o'clock. So now I'm going to stop for the day, and I have some more catching up to do for January. But as you can see, there were quite a bit of cold days, and the white just keeps trickling in, and we're trying to get a little warmer. But that's how the temperatures are going to compare to one another by the different variations of color. So it's really nice to see the yarn changing as I go. Happy knitting, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.